You're completely right. I do instigate to a degree because they make it so fucking easy to win. It's so easy for me to win debates against people because they get so pissed off with what I say. Another thing, and I'll give the game away. I'll give the game away to the entire YouTube world, why I've destroyed absolutely everybody in any debate ever. I say things that they know are true and that they agree with, but I say it in a way that angers them emotionally, and they get caught up in their brain because they're saying, he's saying the truth, but I'm pissed off by how he's saying it. So I want to argue with him, but he's right. So instead of saying men are physically stronger than women, I'll say females are weak. Females are weak. Well, females are weak. Females are weak. Men are strong. Females are weak. No, but females are... But I'm right, and he knows I'm right. But he's mad now, and so is she, and they sit there, and you'll happen on Dave Portnoy. You end up having a whole group of people sitting there trying to argue, well, some women are strong like men, trying to argue the fact that women are as strong as men physically, because I've emotionally controlled them all and upset them all. And then I do a podcast and I get billions and millions of views and unlimited likes against good debaters, like emotionally controlling them. It's an emotional game. I wreck them. I've never given this game away before anyway. But this is what I do. I sit there and I say something they know is true in a way they can't agree with it, and I fucking control them all. Because they're stupid. If I was me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, perhaps I don't like the way you phrased it, but you're very true. That takes intellect. People are emotional. So this is why I wreck all of them. And you're right, I poke them on purpose. And it makes it very difficult to argue with me, especially if they agree with what I'm saying, but they don't like the way it's being said. That's where you see the full breakdowns, the full mental breakdown. And anyone who can emotionally control you and emotionally affect you has power over you. Well, emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. Well, it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize that and how you process it, right? It's having, stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? Chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one, maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever, but you made a mistake, and you learn absolute and utter accountability for yourself. And that mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I'm telling you why it happened when I talk about TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but I'm not gonna blame them. Absolutely, they're a company making money and they're monetizing the best they can, fantastic. All of this is my fault. But the Bugatti on my drive is my fault. And the yacht is my fault, the private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that. If something happens to me that makes me enraged, I will take responsibility. Why has this happened to me? Why do I feel this way? How did I end up in this position? Is this healthy in this scenario? And sometimes it is. I've had scenarios in my life where I was prepared to die to protect somebody else, and I was enraged, and it was healthy. I've also had times where I'm in a room by myself, enraged, sitting there going, this is no good for anybody. I need to just calm the fuck down. So emotions are feedback, but stoicism is the ability to process it. And that's what you need to learn as a man. You're never gonna be able to turn them off. You're gonna feel them. You have to learn how to process them and turn them into a positive. It's energy, it's unlimited energy. I say this all the time. I say that the biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. When my life was going good, I'm not a hedonistic person. I don't do drugs, I don't gamble, I don't do prostitutes, I don't do anything that hedonistic. But I'll certainly go on the yacht with a bunch of women I know and chill and have some vodkas and that kind of thing. When life's smooth, then it's semi-hedonistic, pretty relaxed. But when I make my biggest progress, when I really change who I am and change the world, that's when everything's fucked. When things go wrong, or I'm feeling things I don't want to feel, or bad things are happening, that's when I'm like, okay, I currently cannot sleep. I've completed the day's tasks. I've tried to go to bed. I can't sleep. More shit has to be done. That's when the amazing things happen in my life. When I was heartbroken, when I was whatever, everyone's been heartbroken. I can't remember a specific example. I hit the gym harder, right? If something goes wrong with your payment processor, that's when you get fucking inventive. That's business, right? That's when you get inventive. So all the bad things that happen to you as a man, if you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression. So is rage. So is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind. It's like, people talk like, Bruce Lee says, be like water. And people see that as be fluid and just go with the flow. I disagree. If you're like water, you're necessary for life. You are scary when you're enraged. You're powerful. You're beautiful when you're calm. You're so many things when you're like water, right? So if I'm enraged, it's like water behind a dam. You just got to put the dam in place, and you got to get the turbo, the hydroelectrics put in. Don't tsunami your life. Put the energy somewhere. And this is the most beautiful thing about it, because people message me all the time like, oh, but Tate, you don't know how sad I feel. No, it's incorrect. I know exactly how sad you feel. The difference is I used it. You're sitting here still crying, some random guy on email for the fucking third month in a row. That's the difference between you and me, my friend. I was becoming a world champion kickboxer. I got to a point to do it. People often talk about depression and say I don't understand it. I will say, listen, there's been times in my life where I was fully functional as an adult. I would never label myself depressed because I don't believe in the idea of labeling myself in the negative, because I don't believe in things that take power from me, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's been times in my life where I didn't give a fuck if I lived or died. There's been times in my life where I went to fight, man, for money. And I didn't give a shit if I lost and even woke up again. Didn't give a fuck. I had nothing worth living for. I was brokey, didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have any fucking money. Got a 2-day call to fight some world champion. Had to lose 10 kilos in 2 days. Had nothing else going for me. Got on a plane to Dagestan and fucking won. There's been times I've done that. By all conventional wisdom, I was depressed. I was suicidal, but I was just like, no, I don't give a shit. And that's when I was at my most powerful. Now if I get that call, I'm like, bro, I got a new car outside and shit.
I'm not going to Dagestan, bro.
Going to where? Sorry, how much money? Nah. But back then I was like, yeah, cool. Who is he? Oh, this guy. All right, fine. I didn't give a fuck. I was most powerful when I was sad, when I was depressed, when all these things. And the difference was the framing. It was the framing of it. Does that make hero's arc? And this is the thing. This is why when I was saying, when people say you don't know how it feels to be depressed, I say, yes, I do. The difference is how it's analyzed. I always argue this 2 ways as well when depressed people come to me, because one of my most famous things people attack me for is their little quote is they say, you said depression isn't real. What about the man who kills themselves? You don't care about men's mental health. We've already discussed how I care more about men's mental health than these people who fucking pretending. It's the first thing. Say, I didn't say depression isn't real. I said feeling depressed is real. But the idea that depression is going to strike you in your mind and there's nothing you can do about it, I think that is promoting helplessness amongst depressed people, and that's the reason they kill themselves. I don't think that making people helpless in an unfortunate situation is the great thing to do. You have to give people hope. And I explained that when you believe in something, you give it power. So I tried to say that when I felt at my lowest and I achieved the most I've ever achieved in my life, the reason I was capable of doing that is because I didn't believe in the paradigm of being a depressed person. I just believe that this is how I currently feel, and fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get my life to be better. And I gave a very simple example, an analogy. I said, if you take 2 people, one believes in ghosts and one doesn't, and you put them both in haunted houses, and in the middle of the night, there's a bang. The person who believes in ghosts is now terrified. There's a ghost, they're calling an exorcist, they're panicking in the room, they're hiding. The person who doesn't believe in ghosts goes wind and goes back to sleep. It's the same noise, it's the same scenario, but it's the belief in their mind that and ruins their life. It's the belief in their mind that turns against them. And I've said this many times. I don't even give a shit about right and wrong. You can tell me you can give me with every scientific proof in the world, depression, but I refuse to believe in things that take my power away from me. I'm only going to construct a mental model that allows me to be as powerful as possible. If believing in the idea of depression is going to take my own power away, then I won't believe in it. I don't want to believe in things that make me weak. I believe in things that make me strong. And someone goes, well, you're wrong. Listen, let's assume you're correct and that makes me wrong. Let's say that you're right and you're depressed. Why would I want to adopt the thinking of a man who is sad? Why would I want to think like you? Wouldn't it better to be wrong and be happy and have a sports car and a yacht and a private jet? You want to talk about right? Look at your life. Don't talk about right and wrong. Let's talk about success and results. I don't believe in things that take power. I never have. So when people email me and they start saying, I'm depressed. And what's funny is this, I talk to them and they desperately defend the idea of depression. I'm like, my friend, you just told me you're too depressed to be successful and depression has destroyed your life and you lost your girl. I'm telling you that the enemy in your life isn't real. And you're now sending me 10 emails a week trying to convince me that your enemy is a real thing. Why are you sticking up for your enemy? This person, whatever it is, this idea destroyed you, and you're putting your energy into defending it. You should be on my team. Whose team are you on here? You want to sit here and convince me? I'm never going to believe you. I'm never going to adopt your thinking because your life is not successful enough for me to emulate. So why don't you try to adopt my way of thinking? Stop defending this. And they're defending it because it's a cure-all excuse. Depression or sadness is a cure-all excuse for men to use for failure. I have failed. This is why they say I don't believe in men's mental health, or the man who's depressed can't compete with the man who's not depressed. This quote. I say, listen, you get to roll out, be fat, be out of shape, be broke, be unimportant with no girlfriend. And instead of the world thinking you're a loser, you get to say, I'm not a loser, I'm depressed. It's a shield. Yeah. And I say, that's why you don't want to lose your shield. Because now you have accountability, now you have performance. It's a cop out. Fuck it off. I don't give a shit if it's real or not. We're not about that. We're talking about success here. Get rid of your excuses, stop defending the thing that's ruined your life, and get to fucking work. And every time anyone has ever listened to me in history, ever, every single one of them's transformed their lives and messaged me positive messages afterwards. Every single fucking time. That's why I'm antidepressant. Because that pill ain't gonna fix you the way becoming the man you wish you were is gonna fix you. It's crazy. And then they're gonna take one little soundbite. Tate doesn't care about men's mental health. He thinks depressed people is some bullshit. And they're gonna apply it to me. I really do believe, and I state this almost with a degree of achievement, I'm the most misunderstood man on the planet. I really believe I am. It's crazy the level. There are people out there who truly believe I am evil, and I'm nothing close to it. I'm one of the most compassionate people you could possibly meet.
Can I give you 2 takeaways just for people that are like, oh, Andrew Tate? Here's what I've heard from you so far. Personal responsibility, straight up,
Absolutely.
Right? And then number 2, positive affirmation. I don't want negativity in my life. I don't want depression around me. I don't want weakness around me.
Right.
I want to be the best person I can be and take full responsibility for that.
Right.
Those are the 2 things I'm hearing. We'll go on further.
I'll tell you a story, which is going to make me sound a little bit extreme. This is a story of when I knocked out my friend. I'll tell you a story.
I was going to ask you this story if this is a true story.
It's a true story.
Okay, about your boy that showed weakness.
Yeah.
I got to hear this again.
Right.
You know this story? Jesus Christ.
Right. So I don't like negativity in my space. I curate my reality extremely efficiently. So no matter what bad happens to me, even in the middle of this shit storm, when me, my brother, my cousin, my team were sitting around, we're all smoking. The whole news is saying I'm the worst man in the world. I've been deleted from everything. They've frozen millions of dollars in bank accounts, right? Me and my boys are just sitting there, just laughing, right? We don't believe in negativity because if it's infectious and it's sticky. And even if someone's negative, even if you talk them out of it, it still stains the air, right? If you're in a trench and you're under fire, the least productive person is the person who goes, they've got too much artillery, we're gonna die. Shut the fuck up. We all know, shut up. That's not helping us, right? It's very infectious. So, and most people understand, they say, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Then why the fuck are you spending time with negative people? Or people who complain? Or unhappy people? Or unlucky people? Or negative people? Stop talking to them. Everyone I talk to is like, yep, we are winners. All we do is fucking win. Oh, the Matrix attacks us. Oh, you think I need YouTube? You think I need YouTube? Get fucked. That's who we are, right? So this was when I was young. I was about 23 years old. I had a new girlfriend. Her name was Carrie. And her ex-boyfriend, I stole her from her ex-boyfriend. And if you're a man, you understand that no woman's truly single. You're always stealing her from some other guy, or she's still half talking to her. Oh, bro, she's half talking to her ex, or she's dating 10 guys. They're always out competing other men, right? So stole her from some dude. Dude got heartbroken, had no emotional control, like all the things we talked about. I was at her house. My car was outside her house. I was with my boy, Tony, my ex-friend. Me and Tony are in her house. She's talking to her friend. I'm talking to Carrie. We're all having fun. It's Friday night. 4 cars pull up. Boom, 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 boom. These 6 guys get out with hammers. Knock on the door, it's her ex-boyfriend. Carrie starts panicking. He's crazy, he's crazy. It's like, listen, relax. I go outside with Tony. There's 6 guys with hammers. It's me and Tony, right? And he goes, bro, I don't even give a fuck about Carrie, but you're gonna say sorry to me. I said, sorry for what? Because you stole my girl, you're gonna say sorry. And then we'll just go away. I said, I'm not gonna lie to you, my friend. I'm not sorry for fucking anything. I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't sorry. And then my friend Tony, next to me, and when I said that, I swear to God, when I said that, in real time, because I don't take my eyes off the enemy, right? There's 6 of them, but they're all facing me directly. So I was looking in their eyes directly. When I said that, I saw all of their eyes go, shit, you ain't gonna say sorry. So now we have to actually attack them with hammers. Do we actually want to attack it? At the time, I was British kickboxing champion. I was known in my town. They knew it was going to be messy, right? And I had one hand behind my back as well. I had nothing in it. I had nothing in it.
Who knows what's back there?
You had to do something, right? So they're looking at me and they're like, fuck's sake. He thought he'd say sorry and he didn't. Now what do we do? And Tony pipes up. Fucking dickhead Tony. Hey man, why don't you just say sorry? And as he said that, I saw all of their faces almost lit up because he inspired. The other team showed weakness, inspired weakness on our side. And from complete capitulation, they were now brave again because Tony ran his mouth. I swear on my father's grave, standing there, Tony said that. I turned, I fucking smacked him, strained his mouth, knocked him out cold.
Tony,
my own friend, my own teammate against the 6. I knocked him out cold.
I don't need you now, Tony.
I knocked him out. I said, fuck him and fuck you. I'm in the house. And I walked in the house and I saw them all standing around outside with hammers. Look at Tony asleep and go back in the cars and fuck off. Swear to God, that's a true story. If you're weak near me, you make me weak. I refuse to accept it. I give you a million stories of this. 2 years ago, maybe, we were in Munich. They called the police on me for not wearing a mask. That's a whole nother story. I told them to get fucked as well. We're in Munich. Wasn't wearing a mask, blah, blah, blah. We got drunk in the Kapinski, got really drunk, blah, blah, blah. I was drinking with some guys I kind of knew. In the morning, the police had come. They're threatening to arrest us all because we didn't fucking capitulate and we're 8 masks. The Germans are weird. So we got in our cars, got in our two Raris, got in the Raris, we're heading back to Bucharest. We drunk loads. We were really, really drunk. We stopped at the gas station. We all got out of the car. One of the guys was like, bro, I feel so sick. Oh man, I feel sick. He was walking to the gas station. I said, and I went up to him. My brother talks about this all the time. I patted him on the back and said, bro, if you're gonna keep walking like a fucking injured antelope, you're gonna stay here. We drunk booze. We all feel like shit. I'm not walking around Earth with some dude. I don't want you in my group. I don't want you getting in my car. I don't want you near me. When I walk with my team, you look and go, let's choose someone else. Let's choose another group to prey on. You are the weakness in this group. I don't give a, yeah, you drunk whiskey. Yeah, you feel shit. If you can't turn it on for 2 minutes to go piss and come back in the car, then get fucked. I had a serious conversation with the guy. Tristan goes, you're so right. Why the fuck? And there was no threats. We're at a gas station. But I can't even look at it and near me. I can't just see people near me being all or crying or sad or whatever. You're allowed to feel sad. Of course, your girl left you, you lost your job, you're allowed to feel sad. That's fine. You feel sad. You feel sad right now? Good, great. Sit the booze. Shut the fuck up. Me and my brother have another quote. What do you want? Therapy? That's our quote. We say it all the time for him. Bro, I got a hangover. You want therapy? No. Well, then what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, why are you even saying it out loud? Why are you believing in it? Yeah. Why are you making it real? We all feel like trash. We drunk 10 bottles of whiskey. We all feel like trash. But we're high net worth individuals getting out of Ferraris in a country we don't have security. Nobody's walking fucking like we do. It's a reality you have to create. And when you get your shit straight, it affects your entire life. And men understand this. They say, I understand you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And why are you friends with all these fucking nobodies? Why are you friends with these losers? Why are you doing it then? Then you're accepting what you're gonna be. I love winners. I love winners. Show me a winner. I love winners all day long, my friend. That's who I want to be friends with. Winners. That's who I want to be friends with. I don't want to be friends with anybody else. I don't see the advantage to it. And that's how I've always created my life, and it's served me very, very well. And I refuse to accept anything else because negative energy is extremely sticky. If you have friends who are talking negative shit, try and fix them. It's your duty. But if they're sticking to their negative narrative, you don't have a responsibility to them to a degree to sit there and allow them to pollute your life. Because that's what they're going to do. You have to get to a point where it's like, goodbye.
How many friends have you had to completely cut off? I'm not saying knockout like our friend Tony's probably still sitting there in a ditch.
Watching this podcast.
Yeah. Tony's out there like, Jesus Christ.
Tony, listen. Had to happen. You could have inspired them to rush me and kill me. On a serious note, you could have been the inspiration for my death. So it had to happen. I hope your life's going well. I'm sure it's not going as well as mine.
Sorry,
That's
Tony.
how it goes, my friend.
Yeah.
But
how many other guys have you had to cut off?
You'd be surprised because there's so many, because everyone likes to talk a good talk and everyone likes to pretend they're X, Y, Z. And I'm quite a fair person, you know, and I love like my biggest friends in the world today are friends who I had when I had nothing and they came up with me. Let's say when I had nothing, I had 10 friends. Now I'm at the top, I have 4. The 6 I had to drop just didn't level up with me. And there's only so long you can pay for them to go to the club, pay for them to go on holiday, lend them a car. It's only so long until it's like, bro, everyone else pulled this off. Everyone else, and I've offered you a job, and now you're sick, you're tired. It gets to a point where it's just detrimental to your life, and you have to be ruthless about it because you have to create your reality. It's the only way to do it.